McDonald, your weekly host for Norwood News, your home for all things Norwood. We have covered a lot of stories over the past year and thought we would take some time to reflect on this year. All of us at Norwood News love keeping the news local and covering our town. So thanks for watching us all year long, and here's a look back at 2023. Since our inception, Norwood Community Media has been a proud partner of the Norwood Public School System. One of our favorite times each month is when the lead program comes to film their monthly show. This is a special group of people who truly make a difference in families' lives. This fall, the program was recognized for its hard work. The lead program has been a consistent part of the programming here at NCM for many years now. This week, Best Buddies, an international nonprofit looking to promote inclusion of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, is honoring the lead program at their annual Evening of Opportunity.
Best Buddies is an international nonprofit organization, and overall our mission is to create more inclusion for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, more opportunities to be integrated into our society and communities. So we do that through a number of different programs for all ages. We have school chapters starting in elementary school all the way through college. We have adult friendship program chapters and adult friendship matching opportunities. We have our pre-ETS program, which is for pre-employment training services and transitions. And we have our integrated employment jobs program for adults to be integrated into the workplace. And we have leadership development and all sorts of fun stuff. Today we are honoring Norwood's pre-ETS or pre-employment transitions chapter as one of our outstanding programs for the year, and we're honoring them at this year's Evening of Opportunity as our outstanding pre-ETS partner. So just recognizing all of the work that they're doing, the staff and the students and participants just going above and beyond to create more inclusion and really doing amazing work here in Norwood. So our pre-ETS staff, so the Deputy Director of Transitions, the Transitions Managers, and the Work-Based Learning staff, they come to Norwood and provide support in the classroom, at the workplace here, at the TV studio, and offer kind of support via our curriculum, via our Best Buddies materials that we have, and the staff actually comes in and supports and helps teach lessons and navigate the workplace and things like that. So for the pre-ETS program specifically, it's for students ages 14 to 22 as they are getting ready to leave high school. So students with disabilities in Massachusetts, they age out of their school when they turn 22. So that can be a really scary time for families and students. So that's kind of what our transitions program focuses on, is that 14 to 22 range, specifically for students with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Many of our students, they work with the Mass Rehab Commission, Department of Developmental Services, or their schools' counselors and special ed support and transition specialists to reach out to Best Buddies and get support that way.
Can you show that to everybody?
Absolutely.
Congratulations. Best Buddies has helped us by sending teachers to our program every year to help with what's called pre-ETS, employment training services, and that's where they help us, like resumes and interview skills and figuring out how to present oneself in an interview or in a professional setting, so I really think that Best Buddies has been a big help by giving us the opportunity to work with different adults, different faces from different backgrounds over the last 3 or 4 years, and there are going to be students that I can connect with, and there are going to be students that somebody else might be able to connect with better. And that's one of the great things about what Best Buddies has done. Well, it's very validating, and it's, for me, I'm like, this is a feather in my cap. But where I get the most joy is just seeing the kids, the students in the program, the young adults of Norwood who might have additional needs, being recognized and being superstars, and this is a once in a, I've been doing this for 10 years, it's the first time anything like this has ever happened, so it's pretty special.
In October 2023, the Norwood School Committee voted to make the new middle school the Dr. Philip O. Coakley Middle School, the same name as the old school. The process started in 2022 when community members asked what the name of the new school would be. The school committee proposed a plan to solicit community input and choose from the top 3 names submitted. For months, members of the Norwood community attended public comment at the school committee meetings to plead the case for keeping the name the same. The discussion reached its peak at a public forum in September where the final 3 names were discussed: the Coakley Middle School, the Robert Fitzpatrick Middle School, and the Norwood Middle School. Community members showed up to stress how important it was that Dr. Coakley's name continues to be on the building. In the end, when the construction is completed in 2025, students from 5th to 8th grade will be going to the Dr. Philip O. Coakley Middle School.
The Norwood Police and Fire Department strive to keep our community safe and protected. As tragedy occurs, the Norwood Police and Fire Department are Norwood's local superheroes. Back in September, NCM captured an emotional reunion between a victim and a hero.
Back in November of 2022, while out walking his dog, Rafael Campos was struck by a moving vehicle, putting him in serious condition. After 10 months of intense rehab, Campos wanted to thank his first responders.
I like to think that what they do here is great for everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. So they did a great job. They did something that is exciting and encourages. For Norwood, I feel grateful to be here, to have them to save me, the fire department, the police station. I think that at least they were on my side that day.
Fire Captain Jeff Campilio was first on scene that night and recalls the situation.
I was around the corner coming back from another call with the front engine 5, and tones came out for a pedestrian struck on Washington Street. So I was at the corner of Pleasant and Morse. I responded, and half mile away, quarter mile away, was there in about 30 seconds, and I noticed there was a pedestrian that was struck. He about 15, 20 feet maybe away from the crosswalk. He was unconscious, agonal respirations, not in very good shape at all. So my immediate thought, call MedFlight, activate them right away. The paramedic ambulance was already dispatched from house. Engine was already on their way. That's our protocol. That's how we do things. And I immediately maintained C-spine mobilization. I tried to check in his airway. I was there by myself, so I couldn't really do too much else. About a minute later, the engine came. They started taking over, doing the other interventions, getting vitals, IVs, cardiac monitor, backboard, C-collar, all the things that are needed. Just doing my job, really. But it is a team effort, from myself responding to the engine crew, to the paramedics on scene, to MedFlight, to the PD blocking the street, to the bystanders that actually stopped, got out of their cars to try to help. You don't see that too often, and it was nice to see.
Deputy Fire Chief Dan Harkins used this opportunity to thank Campos for his courage and determination through his long recovery.
If there's one thing I know about you, Raf, you're a fighter. You know who else is? Jessica. Jess, you are a force of nature. With your always positive attitude and never give up mentality, Raphael had the perfect conditions for success. Raf, your recovery at Tufts, your long road of rehab, both physical and speech, having to relearn 2 languages, our role at Norwood Fire, Worcester Life Flight's role, Norwood Police's role, Dr. V's role, all played a part in the success story that is Raphael and Jessica. Raf, for your courage, you're an inspiration to all of us.
Thank you. I hope to be.
On behalf of Norwood Fire, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Go ahead and hold it up.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Not every case has such a positive ending, but everyone involved feels grateful for how Raf has recovered.
The Norwood Fire Department bid Chief Hayes farewell and welcomed the new chief during a pinning ceremony with his family, friends, and community. The police department welcomed 6 new cadets to the force in the spring and then welcomed 2 new cadets in the fall at the first ever police graduation held at Norwood High School. The most popular addition this year to the force was Sally, Norwood's own resource dog. Sally is already a local celebrity who has brought so much joy to the town of Norwood.
I'm Ron Marshalsea, and this is your sports recap for the year 2023. Between the 3 sports seasons here at NHS, there were countless TVL All-Stars, 4 TVL Championship teams, a lot of Sweet 16 teams, a couple Elite 8 teams, and 1 team who made it to the state championship. This past winter, 4 teams made the tournament, spring had 3 teams make it, and fall saw 5 teams make the state tournament. The year started off with a historic milestone right on the Nolet Johnson court here at NHS. Graduate of the class of 2023, Noah Bodette scored his 1,000th point and etched his name into Norwood High School history. Reporting for this story was done by his co-captain and teammate, Dylan Hamway.
They have been playing boys basketball at Norwood High School for almost 100 years. Only 4 players have reached the 1,000 point milestone, but on Friday, January 20th, in the gym named after legendary coaches Ken Nolet and Joe Johnson, a 5th player reached that milestone. Senior captain Noah Bodette, who was the Tri-Valley League MVP last year, entered the game against Dedham High needing 12 points to hit 1,000. Family and friends were in attendance to watch Noah and to be there to celebrate when he sank the shot. After the game, Noah said he wanted to hit the 1,000 point at home.
I felt great, going out here with my team. It's a big game versus Dedham, but to be able to get this accomplishment is a great feeling. The work has paid off. I'm thankful I was able to do it, and I couldn't do it without my teammates.
Bodette remembers his first points in a Norwood High School varsity basketball game.
I remember my first point. It was a free throw versus Norton, and it would be 3 years ago in a couple weeks, so it's a cool feeling. I want to thank my parents and my family first. They're a big part of my life, and without them I couldn't do anything. All my coaches, Coach McDonald, Coach Frioli, Coach Jenkins, all my coaches, Coach Corcoran, they all helped me along the way, and I'm forever appreciative of that.
Noah Bodette still has games remaining in his high school career, and his point total will continue to climb. But on this Friday night, it was the 1,000 point that will always be remembered by Noah, his family, and his teammates. On behalf of all your teammates, congratulations, Noah. Reporting for Norwood News, I'm Dylan Hamway, co-captain and teammate of Noah Bodette.
Number 14, Noah Bodette.
The boys and girls basketball teams made it deep into the playoffs last year, and it's looking good for both teams this year as a number of players are returning from the previous season. Noah is currently continuing his academic and athletic career as part of the Emmanuel College men's basketball team. Speaking of collegiate athletes, NCM got to talk to a few former Mustangs in the past year, and all of them are available to watch on demand as part of the newly revamped sports show, NCM Sports Talk. If you know of any former Mustangs doing amazing things on the field or court, be sure to reach out and let us know by emailing me, Ron, at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. 1,000 points being scored wasn't the only milestone set this year. Out on the turf, the field hockey team did damage across the Tri-Valley League, going undefeated in the TVL, being TVL champs, and making it to the state championship game at WPI. The team also had individual milestones, with Allison Dolliner reaching her 100th career win as the head coach of the Norwood field hockey team. Junior goalie Ava O'Neill surpassed 200 saves in the season and secured 12 shutouts, with 3 of them being in the postseason tournament. Also, Captain Shay Larkey finished her junior field hockey campaign with a TVL All-Star nod, a member of the National Field Hockey Coaches Association All-Region team for the state of Massachusetts, and breaking the single-season goals scored record set by Casey Smith in 2015. We caught up with Shay to find out how she felt about setting the record after the big win over Medfield. With this goal, her 35th of the season, Larky broke the NHS single-season scoring record. She scored another before the game was over to complete the hat trick, and she still has one more regular season game left. After the game, Larky describes what the record means to her.
To me, it means a lot because it means I could really find the back of the net this season and help my team win some games, but it's really cool that we all did it together and we have a winning record. Well, I knew I was getting up there. I didn't have no clue what the record was, but I was not expecting that. It just makes me feel really good because I know that last year was a rebuilding year, and this year we were able to really bring everything that we had as a team and make something happen out of what we had. We're going to playoffs very soon, and we are going to make some stuff happen and hopefully go very far. Maybe state championship, that's maybe in the pictures, I hope so.
NCM is proud to capture these historic moments, and each team was a pleasure to cover, watch, and broadcast all season long. So thank you to all the NHS teams for delivering great game after great game, and for letting NCM be part of each of your seasons.
While Norwood Community Media covers all types of news stories in Norwood, our favorite news stories are the ones that remind us of how lucky we are to live in the town of Norwood. When needed, we come together as a community and support one another. We celebrate members of our community, and we honor those who have made an impact in our community. As the new year kicked off, so did a new tradition, as the first ever Giles Parker Crosstown Classic was played.
It was a bittersweet reunion at the NHS gym on Friday, January 6th. Norwood High basketball fans and alumni came to celebrate some very special people at the first ever Giles Parker Crosstown Classic, where 2 awards would be given out in honor of 2 Mustangs that Norwood recently lost.
Norwood High School hosted the first ever Giles Parker Crosstown Classic basketball game on the Nolette Johnson Court. Named in honor of longtime girls basketball coach and high school history teacher, Giles Parker. The event, created by Mustang basketball alumni, also honors 2 very special people. Andrea Dixon Lavery, class of '01, who recently lost a tough battle to cancer, and Kevin McDonald, a longtime supporter of Mustang basketball.
Andrea Dixon Lavery was a member of the Mustang basketball team from 1997 to 2001. Throughout Andrea's career, she was a 2-time MVP, a 2-time Bay State League All-Star, and was twice voted team captain. Andrea adored her teammates and Coach GP. Kevin McDonald was a proud Westwood native and member of Westwood's 1962 Tech Tourney Championship team. After his family moved to Norwood in the early 1980s, Kevin was an integral part of the creation of the Norwood Basketball Association and the original Metro West travel teams. Once his daughters Kelly and Casey were in high school, he worked with his wife Mim and the other basketball parents to create the Norwood High Hoopsters Boosters to help financially support our beloved Norwood High School girls program.
Catherine Clifford, NHS class of '05, and the coach of the girls' Westwood basketball team, is humbled to be part of this special event.
I think the Norwood Girls Basketball Alumni Network is, I think, the strongest around. It's honored to be a part of it. I think it all centers through GP. We've had a couple events over the years. I'm very fortunate that they kind of cater to my schedule and pick the Westwood game, so it's great to be here. But obviously with 2, huge losses in the last couple of years, and Andrea and Kevin, it was a no-brainer with Kevin's background in Westwood to make this game and sort of make it an event. His daughters Casey and Kelly kind of took it and ran with it. Obviously Chris McDonald on the Norwood side is on board and very close with that family, and it's just a special night. It came together really well, and again, just happy it's the Westwood game and I get to be a part of it.
Parker's family attended the event. His son, Giles Jr., comments on how much the Mustangs meant to his dad.
Oh, it was everything. His players, their families, they were like family to him, to us, to my mom, who was always in the stands and couldn't miss a game. Also to see all of his players go on to coach, or to have kids who became players for him again. It was just everything to him. He put hours and hours into it all the time.
At the end of the game, the Andrea Dixon Lavery Award and Kevin McDonald Award were given out to a player from each team. Kevin's daughter Casey and Andrea's sister Allie and her daughter Allie spoke on what this event means to their families.
I'll start with Giles first and foremost. One of Andrea's sort of last wishes was to make sure we had a lasting impact under Giles' name, as there's things getting named. So hint, hint for people out there. We want to have something named after GP. It was a very important part of all of our lives and keeping all of us together. So that's where that started. And then obviously with losing Dad and Andrea this year, it made sense. With my father being from Westwood too, and then being a strong Norwood advocate, and obviously the impact all the Dixons have had on this program, we just found a way to tie it all together.
Casey found a way to tie it all together. Casey and Kristen McDonald and Catherine put a lot of effort into this, and it means a lot. I know to Allie's mommy and my sister, because she loved Norwood basketball and she loved all the alumni and Giles Parker, so it means a tremendous amount to our family, right, Allie? Yeah.
With a packed barn, the first ever Giles Parker Crosstown Classic was a success, and the families are honored to be part of this special event.
I definitely want to thank everybody, the alumni, the coaches, all the players who came back, for remembering my dad, but also Mr. McDonald, who was a super fan, and Andrea Dixon, because the Dixon family was just such a huge part of Norwood and his career here.
As the coach of our NHS girls basketball team, I was so fortunate to have a front row seat to such a nice tribute. The huge turnout of alumni there to support these Norwood legends and their families is what makes Norwood so special. And I was so appreciative that our own team was able to see that they play for something much bigger than themselves. Just a really great night with great community.
That community spirit Kristen speaks of is alive and well in all parts of Norwood. This past April, NCM captured a milestone moment at the Senior Center for one of our favorite people, Jim Schmidt. Jim has spent countless hours capturing moments for NCM at the Norwood Senior Center, so it seemed fitting that we capture the tribute to him from his friends at the Senior Center.
A Norwood legend turns 100 years old, and last week the Senior Center held a very special celebration for him.
Jim is a World War II veteran, an avid exerciser, a great community advocate.
It's not every day that someone turns 100. Jim Schmidt celebrated this magnificent milestone this past weekend, and his friends at the Norwood Senior Center helped him ring in this special day.
We're very excited to celebrate Jim's 100th birthday today. It's actually his birthday's tomorrow, but we wanted to do something here today. But yeah, he's amazing. He's still very active. Just proves that if you keep moving, you will keep living.
Representatives of both Senator Mike Rush and State Representative John Rogers made an appearance and gifted Jim with 2 proclamations.
Yeah, so we were happy to come here today on behalf of Senator Rush and Representative Rogers to provide official citations to Jim, congratulating him on his 100th birthday, a momentous occasion. And those citations are official congratulations from the House and the Senate, signed by both Senator Rush and Representative Rogers, Senate President Karen Spilka, and Speaker Ron Mariano.
After enjoying some cake, Jim reflected on his 100 years, discussing his time as a World War II veteran, filmmaking, and his time in Norwood.
When I was a kid, like 10, 11, somewhere around there, for birthday they got me a Brownie Kodak movie camera. And I've been taking moving pictures ever since. And when I retired from the newspaper, they were taking videos of me with, one of those big cameras they had on their shoulder. And when it came, to say goodbye, that was a gift that they gave me with the video inside it, and the whole video camera had a carrying case and everything.
Longtime friend Bill McCoy recalls the first time he met his buddy and partner in crime.
In 1996, I bought my house that I live in now. My sister, God love her, she's gone. We moved in on Halloween night. And I didn't know anybody in the neighborhood and a lot of kids and everything. So December the 5th, I told my sister I'm going to do Santa Claus out front on the steps. So we got everything decorated up and we put the stool out there and everything. And the kids could come up and talk to Santa. So it started about 5:30 at night. It was December the 5th. It was cold as hell. It was a Friday night. And the car pulls up, and I didn't know Jimmy. I never met him. And he come in and he said, I'm from the cable. He said, I'm going to do a video on Santa Claus and the kids. All right? And I said, sure. He got everything set up. And he comes up and he says, are you ready? I said, yeah. He says, I'm not. I said, what's the matter? I got to go home. I got to get a battery. The battery's dead. I said, where do you live? He said, up by St. Tim's. I said, don't bother. Don't worry about it. He went all the way home and got the battery and came back. Now, you know what Neponset Street is. It's like being in Boston. Come back half an hour, 45 minutes later, and did the program. And I never met him again until February of 2001 at the Legion at a dance. They introduced me. And since then, we've been like brothers. I mean, God love him. I mean, look, he's done so much for me with my music, too. So, I mean, you can't beat the guy. He doesn't know what no is. You know, he really doesn't. But he's really, if somebody hasn't met him, they missed it. They missed the chance to have somebody. But what he's done, I mean, there's not one thing up here that hasn't been televised, whether it's bingo or dancing or people coming in for different things and recreation. He's done it all, and it's absolutely unbelievable.
And like his pal Bill, Jim is so grateful for his friends and the people of Norwood.
I'm just very thankful for all of this. These people, the people in Norwood are great. The town people, everybody is you know, they're a thoughtful group of people that live here.
As Jim said, Norwood is full of thoughtful people. And this was on full display this past May at the Willett Early Childhood Center.
May is Military Appreciation Month, a month-long observance dedicated to people who are currently in the military or have resigned from duty. This week, the Willett Early Childhood Center celebrated with an outdoor ceremony that ended with a special guest.
The Willett Early Childhood Center is Norwood's kindergarten school. And this week, the students celebrated Military Appreciation Month by making posters and signs that were on display around the school. The entire school went outside dressed in red, white, and blue and custom patriotic hats to have a school-wide picture taken. But there was one student who was about to have a special surprise. Landon Gilbert, a student in Lynn Doherty's class, was about to see his father for the first time since July. U.S. Navy Lieutenant Derek Gilbert flew home in the morning and headed straight to the Willett School. Gilbert was excited to see his family for the first time in 10 months.
Just so excited to see my son. We got last deployment, got to see him at home, and he was super excited. So just looking forward to a similar type of reunion. Was fortunate enough that my daughter was at the airport to greet me, and so we've been able to spend a little bit of time together, but excited to see Landon. This is gonna be awesome. Oh, I'm excited about this, especially for an area where there's not a lot of military personnel. It's a very nice thing, I think, for the community to be able to see some military interaction. So I'm okay with it being a bigger deal. I'm just excited to see Landon. That's the most important thing.
And guess what? We have a special guest that wanted to come and visit. So if you guys just stay right where you are, our visitor's gonna come out to say hello. Everybody, if you just turn your heads and say welcome to our special guest.
I'm just happy to be back with my family. It's been a long time. Been gone for 270-something days on the ship and then away from the kids for about 10 months. So it's just amazing to be back together as a family. Once again, this is great.
Landon's mom, Michelle, is very active in the classroom and mentioned to Lynn Doherty that her husband was coming home, and the idea grew into a school-wide surprise.
I mentioned to Miss Doherty, who's a fantastic teacher, that we would love to surprise Landon at school, and maybe he could just walk into the classroom, and her creative mind has blown this up, and she's a wonderful person and teacher, and I thank you, Miss Doherty, for all this. he looks a little happy. So we're very happy to be together again.
We started school in September, and Landon's mom had told me ahead of time that his dad was deployed since July. So it's been a conversation that we've had all year with Landon. He was telling us that he missed his dad, and we would talk about it, and he drew pictures and things to send to his dad. We all made a project on Veterans Day, and Landon's mom mailed it to his dad to see. But then when today happened, when I found out he was coming home and it was going to work out perfectly, because we didn't know if he would fly in during the school hours or in the evening, it worked out to perfection, and I was so excited today. Just coming to school, I was crying on my way here, as were pretty much 95% of the staff. And as soon as I just threw it out there, does anybody want to participate? Every single teacher said absolutely. They're all busy. We all have crazy schedules, but they dropped everything because they wanted to share in this moment with Landon, because we really love our students and care about them and their families so much. So it was a very special moment for me and the whole staff.
Moments like these are very special, and they're extra special when we get to share them with you. Make sure to thank those who are currently in the military or who have served. All of us at NCM would like to thank Lieutenant Gilbert for his service, and we know he will enjoy his visit back home.
This past February, Norwood, like so many communities throughout the country, came together to celebrate Black History Month.
The Norwood community came together last weekend to celebrate Black History Month with the first of its kind event at Norwood High School. The event was put together by Norwood Police Officer and School Resource Officer Jeffrey Baguma and Morrill Memorial Library Director Clayton Cheever. Cheever described some of the presentations and entertainment that took place.
So today we are celebrating Black history, Black present, Black future. We are looking at all the beauty that comes from the African diaspora and just some examples of some of the amazing people, artists, scientists, explorers, government people. We just have an amazing spread of people that are represented by our students. We have presentations here in the gym from middle school students. We have some living history people, some people who've prepared speeches to talk about people that they found inspiring. And then in the auditorium this afternoon, we have a long list of performances. We have a fashion show, we have some song, we have some dancers, we have a storyteller. It's just a really rich event celebrating the beauty of African history, present and future. Oh, this event is important because we need to know that everybody is welcome, that we are so much stronger when we work together, and we have such an amazing history, and we have such a promising future when we come together and celebrate the best that we all have to offer.
Officer Baguma describes what this special event means to him.
This event really wasn't about me as an individual at all. It was about everybody who's going through the school system now and is searching and wanting and desiring so much more of the cultural richness, which is so much more than maybe we've learned, yesteryear. This was great because we ultimately knew that we could not do anything alone.
Baguma was originally unsure how the event would turn out, but he is quite happy with the results and can't wait for next year.
Ultimately did not know in the beginning how they would respond, but this is something that's very emotional and in a positive way, seeing how many people are coming out to be a part of this, in terms of we're celebrating Black history, but we're celebrating history as a whole, and all the people coming here are being part of a history. I'm already thinking about 2024, and this can only be expanded through the want and desire of the community. I mean, they came or they're coming out right now. The door won't stay closed, and they're showing that this is what they want. This is something that they want to be a part of. So again, it's not just Black history, it's American history, and it's ultimately more than a month. But all of us will take this month and use it in a celebratory way.
Giving back in the community is not reserved for just the adult members. The younger residents of Norwood know how to step up and support important causes.
The NHS boys and girls soccer teams held their annual Pink Out and Morales Cup games earlier this week. This is a chance for the athletes to do their part to help in such great causes. The Pink Out raises awareness for breast cancer, while the Morales Cup honors Fernando Morales, an NHS student who lost his battle to cancer in 2015. Assistant girls soccer coach Caitlin Brinklow had the opportunity to play with Morales in high school.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to honor him. He loved soccer, and I think he just had such a big impact on the soccer program while he was here and on boys and girls teams. It gets the girls involved in cancer awareness and other things around the community and kind of builds up the whole community of Norwood and combines the boys and girls teams together. So I feel like it brings a lot of people together in a positive way.
The girls soccer captains explain what it means to be part of this special event.
I think as a team we know it's more than a game. Like, we're playing for a bigger cause today, and we all just want to give it our all and see what we can do.
I agree with Lauren. Obviously we try our best and play hard every game, but for this game it means a lot because we're playing for a cause, for something important. So everyone really puts it all on the field.
I think to our team, we always love having a reason to play, especially, and today's probably the biggest reason we get to play all year. So I think we're all just really excited to, fight for a cause and stuff.
I think it's really special that our entire program gets to give back something more to our community and help raise money for a special cause.
First-year boys soccer coach John Lockhead speaks of continuing this honorable tradition.
Yeah, so I actually graduated the same year as Fernando. I grew up in Walpole, so I got to play against him a bunch of times. He's a great kid, great player. So we're really looking forward to honoring him tonight, and then also hopefully we can get a big win also to honor him. So we've been working hard all season, just getting closer and closer, so hopefully it can come all together with this great occasion tonight.
It feels special being out here representing my team and being able to play and just let his name live on.
Yeah, it's just great to get out here, play hard, give it our best, and yeah, it's just what town sports is all about, going out, having fun, just giving it our all. Hopefully we can win.
It's wonderful to see the younger leaders in our community thinking beyond themselves and making a difference. When you talk about making a difference, Norwood has one special family working to raise awareness for a cause dear to their heart. Taylor and Travis weren't the only power couple seen together in New York City recently. Norwood's own twin sisters, Josie and Maddie Murray, were also spotted in Times Square for the 2023 New York City Buddy Walk. The Buddy Walk is the premier advocacy event for Down syndrome. The flagship New York City Buddy Walk attracts participants from coast to coast each year, and the Murray family traveled to the Big Apple to join over 2,000 other participants to be a part of this spectacular event. Each year, the National Down Syndrome Society reminds the world in a big way about the value that people with Down syndrome bring to their communities through a special video presentation on a jumbo screen in the heart of Times Square. Josie's picture was one of 500 photos displayed on the giant screen, and she and her family were so proud to be part of it. This weekend, the Murrays hosted their own Buddy Walk in their neighborhood to celebrate and promote the acceptance of individuals with Down syndrome. Friends, family, neighbors, teachers, and classmates all came out to support this worthwhile cause. Money raised from this walk was donated to the Massachusetts Down Syndrome Society to continue to reach its ultimate goal, which is to ensure that all individuals with Down syndrome are valued, included, and given the opportunity to pursue fulfilling lives. So awesome. Before the walk, Karen Murray and Joe Murray welcomed their buddies with a heartfelt speech. Let's take a look.
First thing is, we had such an amazing group last year, and we are just so happy and excited to have so many people here this year. I feel like definitely there's more this year than last year. So thank you to our community and our village for being here today. As of this morning, we raised $3,590. So it's just amazing. And I just want to tell you guys a little bit about the Mass Down Syndrome Congress and how it's really, been a support to our family for their whole lives, really, from different play groups. Last year, I attended a class to learn how to teach a strategy for Down syndrome, to teach Josie how to read. We have a family play group coming up in jam time next month, and there's also an educators forum at Holy Cross next month that I'll be attending. So they've really been such an amazing support, so that your money is really going to a very worthwhile organization. So thank you all so much for that. And one thing that we wanted to do this year was that we wanted to dedicate this walk to a man named Mike Ryan, who we affectionately called Uncle Mike. Uncle Mike passed away in July, 1 month shy of his 60th birthday. We had the good fortune of meeting Uncle Mike and his family on the Cape a few summers ago, when Josie walked right up to him as if they were kindred spirits. He was the first older person that we ever met with Down syndrome, and we spent a whole afternoon talking and watching the love that was shared between Uncle Mike and his sister Dottie, who was his caretaker, and his niece and great nieces and nephews. In his eulogy, his niece Shannon said that she was having trouble finding the words to express having Uncle Mike in their lives. She said he wasn't a word, he was a feeling, and he was simply the best feeling she'd ever known. That really hit us, because I think the people who know Josie and others with Down syndrome can really relate to that feeling. They say if you have someone in your life with Down syndrome, you're part of the lucky few, and I definitely agree. Thanks to the members. Uncle Mike's family was going to come, but I don't think they're here yet. So they may be here later. They knew we were doing this, and they gave us their blessing. In closing, and like I said last year, in our family, there's no talking about Josie without also talking about Maddie. They have such a special bond, and we are so glad that they have each other. At the ripe old age of 6, Maddie has learned more about advocacy and inclusion than many adults, even if she doesn't yet understand those words. They push each other, they encourage each other, they fight just like every other set of 6-year-old twins, and they love each other fiercely. And we are privileged to get to be their parents, to be witnesses to it. So we just want to thank you all again so much for coming. And we want to take one group, Josie's Joggers team photo, and then we're going to get on to our walk. Thank you.
Such an amazing family making a difference one step at a time. As we finish looking back at the stories that touched us, we'd be remiss if we let the broadcast go by without remembering the goodbye we all had to say to a beloved family store at the beginning of last year.
After 49 years of being in business in the heart of downtown Norwood, Brenner's officially closed its doors on December 30th, 2022. They had a farewell reception on December 22nd so that friends, family, and community members could stop by and reminisce about the wonderful memories of Brenner's Children's Shop.
Been here 49 years, and we made from customers friends. So to us, every child that came through here was very important to us, and so were the parents. So I'm very proud to say that.
The business has been huge to the community. We moved in, my husband and I, when we got married in 1988. 1989, I became pregnant with my first child, and he was born. And 6 months later, I was walking up and down the sidewalks with him in the carriage, and I happened upon Brenner's and went in. And 33 years later, I'm still here, and within those 33 years, Brenner's has generously donated to the community in goods and services and just the caring for every single customer that's walked through this door. She's gotten to know them, both her and Eric got to know the customers on an intimate level versus just customer. Phenomenal people, and given their life history and everything they've been through, they're the kindest people I have ever seen, and the loss of Aaron this year has had tremendous impact on the community. We all miss him tremendously, but we do hope Martha the best in moving on and eventually moving down to DC to be with her family, and we're going to miss her.
I'm really going to miss. I already miss stopping by the shop and seeing Aaron and Martha, but I get to see Martha still, and I'm glad to have this opportunity to say thank you. There are a lot of, I'm glad that some people, heard about it tonight. They're down there having a good time and telling their swapping stories. It's hard to imagine. I mean, this is Norwood's sesquicentennial, and there's so many wonderful celebrations of Norwood 150, but we have to say goodbye at the end of this year to an institution, a landmark.
Well, I just want to say, if anyone, all my customers are listening, I thank them very much from the bottom of my heart. They made us what we are today, and it's kind of sad. I'm sorry. It's kind of very sad, but it's that we are going away, but it's time. We've been here 49 years, and I'm not getting any younger. I keep saying I'm 39, but So I do thank everyone who ever crossed our pathway. Thank you for their service and for buying with us, and we really care.
Brenners may be gone, but Aaron and Martha Greenfield will not be forgotten. They have touched so many families' lives here in Norwood. This past December, the town, along with the Chabad Chai Center, lit the menorah in memory of Aaron Greenfield, a special tribute to a wonderful man.
It's not every day that a member of the New England Patriots comes to our town, but this past year we had two. We had Jawan Bentley stop by one of our favorite places, the Juice Bar, and Devin McCourty came to the high school last year on the first day of finals to give the kids tips and suggestions and advice on how to handle the rest of the school year. Let's take a look at those two clips.
One of Norwood's favorite spots, the Juice Bar, officially announced that New England Patriots linebacker Jawan Bentley will be the ambassador of the Juice Bar.
So we have the captain of the defense team of the Patriots coming in. He just signed a contract with us to be our ambassador. So Jawan Bentley is coming, and he's going to make some bowls. He's going to sign autographs. So it's going to be a fun day. So I have a friend who's a customer, and he owns a restaurant in Boston, and he posted a video of Jawan and other players at his restaurant, and I liked the post. And Jawan started following us, the Juice Bar, and the next day I got an email from his marketing guy, and we spoke and we signed a contract.
Bentley, a patron of the Juice Bar, was excited to go behind the counter and get to work.
So I started off with the acai bowl. I started off not knowing what I was doing for real, but I know I like berries, so I felt like that was a start for me. So I added some berries, a little bit of peanut butter, some mangoes, pineapples. I basically put in everything that was over there, and was just going to see what it tastes like, and it ended up being great with some granola. So that was great. Then I turned around and made a smoothie. Probably a little bit it might be the same stuff that's in this acai bowl in the smoothie. So it turned out being great as well. And then a sandwich. Like I said, hadn't eaten avocado until today. So this is probably the most monumental thing for me today, because now I know going forward I could probably try avocado here and there. So it's been great. The food's been good. The atmosphere is great. Aesthetically it's great, especially nowadays. Everybody's kind of looking for that aesthetic. And it's great. The food is they're not flooding you down with sugar and things like that. Everything's natural. Everything's great, and the people here are great. So I would say, with that being said, I feel like it's like a 10 out of 10 spot if I was giving it a Yelp review.
Norwood High School began their finals on Thursday and received a surprise pep talk to get them ready. Three-time Super Bowl champ Devin McCourty of the New England Patriots stopped by the TV studio and was a live guest on the student-produced NHS Update news program. McCourty was interviewed by junior Jordan Robinson and provided advice for the students.
Final question. On the first day of final exams, what advice do you have for Norwood students?
I would say, for one, you've put in the work, you've studied, you've done everything you had to do. Trust in that, believe in that. That's what I did every day. I always got nervous every game I played in. Preseason, regular season, playoffs, Super Bowls. I got nervous, but I had to depend on the work. So make sure every time you get ready for a big test or like finals, study, 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 put in the hard work, and then believe in yourself and go be confident.
Wow, that's such great advice. Thank you for visiting us today. Come back anytime.
Sure.
After the newscast, McCourty had fun with the news crew and took pictures with the students and signed the news script. Principal Dr. Hugh Galligan presented him with a shirt making him an official Mustang, and McCourty is now a big fan of Norwood Community Media.
The Norwood Hospital continued construction throughout the year, with Dr. Sal Perla providing updates for Norwood News. The new Coakley Middle School kicked off construction of their brand new building. NCM is following the progress and will continue to until the project is finished. The new Coakley Middle School aims to open in September 2025.
After serving the town of Norwood in her capacity as a selectman for 22 years, Helen Abdella Donahue announced in January that she would not be seeking re-election. At her final meeting in March, Mrs. Donahue had these words for the town of Norwood.
The last thing that I have to say is when Mr. McCarthy interviewed me through Norwood Community Media, which I also thank from the bottom of my heart for all of their help all over the years. Norwood Community Media, thank you. Jack McCarthy said at that interview about the George M. Cohan, and that movie was on Norwood Cable last weekend, and at the end of the movie, James Cagney says the same thing that I'd like to say. My mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my family thanks you. Thank you to the town of Norwood for letting me serve you for these years. You've given me a chance to help out, and it's been one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And I just want to say thank you, voters. Thank you, kind people, for letting me help.
Helen would still retain her membership as a town meeting member, which NCM later found out that Mrs. Donahue is currently Norwood's longest-running town meeting member, uninterrupted, holding her office since 1968.
It is our absolute privilege here at NCM to be a part of the Norwood community. All of us at NCM look forward to sharing more stories and showing our viewers how wonderful this community truly is. Here's to 2024. As always, thank you so much for watching. We want to leave you with a special dedication to a person we lost in 2023. Longtime town manager and Norwood legend John Carroll passed away this year, and we leave you with John saying a few words about his beloved town of Norwood.
Whenever I think of the town of Norwood, it just brings happiness to my heart. You know, I worked in Norwood for 39 years. I thought I would go forever. I wanted to. But I love the town. I love working there. I love working on various projects. I always try to make the town a little bit better. And I work with some great people down through the years, including Bernie Cooper, who died way too young, just a year ago. But I loved working with so many very, very good people. Bob Thornton, the town accountant, everybody that I work with was just wonderful. And I'm so pleased and happy that the selectmen found an excellent candidate, Tony Masuko, to replace me. So congratulations to the town of Norwood on their 150th anniversary. It's well worth it. I well remember sitting at the head table in a tuxedo next to Ernie Block for the 125th anniversary at Concannon's 25 years ago. And every day I get up to go to work, I was happy. And every day I come home from work, I was satisfied that I had done something to help the town. I tell that to Mark Ryan all the time. He's a public works director, and I say, Mark, every day you go home looking back on that particular day's work, knowing that you've helped one family or maybe 50 or 100, whether you've fixed some one thing for them or you've paved a street. But it's I just had so much enjoyment, and God bless you all. I hope you all have a great night on the 150th anniversary. I love you all.